Yeah, tell me. So bond order can be calculated in diatomic molecules, that is in nitrogen already we have completed now, right? Over now. How to calculate bond order and its magnetic behavior in nitrogen is over, right? I gave homework also last class. Did no? Okay. Next, right? Yeah. Electronic configuration, energy level sequence, right on? Energy level sequence for homodiatomic molecule molecules with 16 and more electrons. Energy level sequence for homodiatomic molecules with 16 and more electrons. So last class we have studied 14 till 14 electrons. No, now it is 16 and more electron. Come on, tell me, what is energy level sequence? Sigma 1s has low energy, next sigma star 1s, next sigma 2s, next sigma star 2s, till here is same, right? Next is, so in nitrogen we have studied, we have written what? Pi 2 px equal to pi 2 py, but before pi 2 px we should write sigma 2 pz, then pi 2 px equal to pi 2 py, then next is pi 2 p, it is over, no, next is pi star 2 px equal to pi star 2 py, then last is sigma star 2 pz, right? So this is the energy level sequence for up to not 16 and more electrons. Then what is the difference in nitrogen? In nitrogen we have written this pi 2 px, this pi 2 px, pi 2 py, no, this is we have written before the 2 pz, sigma 2 pz, sigma 2 pz written here in place of pi 2 px, pi 2 py. That was the change. Okay, the only change is this, sigma 2 pz comes in place of pi 2 px, pi 2 py, whereas pi 2 px, pi 2 py comes in place of sigma 2 pz, where in case of 14 electron, in case of 16 electron this. Okay, now so based on this energy sequence it is possible to calculate the bond order. So therefore what is the formula to calculate bond order? Bond order equal to half into number of bonding electron minus number of anti-bonding electron. So this is the formula to calculate bond order. Last class we have studied, right? Now tell me, here important is calculate, take one tabular column example, just like yesterday class. Take the tabular column. In first column write molecule over or ion, molecule or ion. Second column molecular electronic configuration. Okay. In third column bond order. In fourth column magnetic behavior or magnetic nature. What is the magnetic nature? Whether para, dia. Okay, right, O2 plus 2, O2 minus 2. So here also you need to remember the electronic configuration of O2 first. If you are able to remember O2, remaining all the things very easy. And moreover, the majority questions are based on O2 and N2 only. So N2 O2 electronic configurations must. Come and tell me, O2 has how many electron? 16. Therefore, you just fill the 16 electron in this sequence. First is sigma 1s2, next sigma star 1s2, next sigma 2s2, next sigma star 2s2. Then after sigma star 2s2, electron enters into where? Sigma 2pz2. Yes or no? Sigma 2pz2. The next is pi 2px 2, pi 2py 2. Then count here electrons 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So till here we filled how many electrons? 14. Still how many electrons should be filled? There are how many electrons? There are 16 electron total. Out of 16 electron, how many electrons already filled? 14. Still 2 more electrons should be filled. Then these 2 more electrons should be enter into which orbital? That is pi star 2px and pi star 2py. Since both are degenerate, then one electron enter into pi star 2px1, which is equals to pi star 2py1. So therefore, now this is the electronic configuration of O2 molecule. Okay. Now here one important hint is, can you tell me in O2 molecule where the last electron is present? Last electron, that is pi star 2px1, which is equals to pi star 2py1. It means whether bonding or anti-bonding? Anti-bonding, right? That means last electrons are present in anti-bonding molecular orbital, right? Now, what is the bond order? How do you calculate bond order? Bond order equal to half into number of bonding minus number of anti-bonding. How many bonding? Bonding electrons are without star, no? Without star are bonding, with star anti-bonding. What are the without star? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So therefore, in nitrogen also we have 10, no? Last class I told you, nitrogen, oxygen both are having bonding electrons are 10 only. See, if the bonding electrons are 10, how many anti-bonding electrons? 16. Sorry, 6. Why? Total is 16. Note, total 16 electrons is there. Bonding is 10 means how many anti-bonding? Should be 6. Right? So therefore, bond order equal to 10 minus 6. It is 4. 4 by 2 is 2. Bond order 2. Bond order 2 means there is a oxygen double bond will be there. Next, magnetic behavior. Come on. What is the magnetic behavior? Right. So there are 2 unpaired electrons wherein anti-bonding. So therefore, since there are 2 unpaired electrons, it is paramagnetic nature. Important. So therefore, this MOT theory was proposed to explain what? Paramagnetic nature of oxygen molecule only. Okay. Can you tell me next? Next is, tell me O2 plus. What is the electronic configuration of O2 plus? Plus means whether we should remove electron or add electron. Remove electron. Remove the electron for where? Where? Pi star 2px, pi star 2py. So this everything is same, no? Electronic configuration. Only difference is pi 2px is 1. Then whatever, sorry, pi star 2px is 1. Pi star 2py is what? 0. There is only one electron present in anti-bonding. So therefore, what is the bond order? 2.5. Calculate here 2.5. Next, what is the magnetic behavior? Para only. Okay. Next, O2 plus 2. So electronic configuration similar to oxygen. The only last electronic configuration is change is what? Pi star 2px is 0. Right? Pi star 2py also 0. Now tell me, if these two 0, then where the electron is present, last electron? Pi 2px2, pi 2py2, they are filled or not? Say, if 2 electron present in one orbital, it should be like this, paired. It is also paired. Electrons are paired. Since electrons are paired, para na dia na? Diamagnetic, sorry. It is a dia. Then what is the bond order? Bond order 3, bond order 3. Next, O2 minus. electronic configuration is similar to O2 only, then O2 minus, it means whether electron should be added or removed. Added. Then where the electron added? To pi star 2px or pi star 2py. So therefore, yeah, add anywhere. Pi star 2px 2, then pi star 2py 1. Then bond order is 1.5. Then it is para only, because there is still one unpaired electron present. Last one is O2 minus 2. Electronic configuration similar to O2. Then add 2 electron to 1 here, 1 here. Then what is the electronic configuration? Pi star 2px 2, then pi star 2py 2. Then what is the bond order? 1.0. Then it is diamagnetic. Okay, so these things are important. Next, let's write some important points about this. First point, do you know? First point is, what is the bond order? Come on, tell me. Bond order of O2, O2 plus, O2 plus 2, O2 minus, O2 minus 2. Come on, tell me. Bond order is 2. This is 2.5. It is 3. It is 1.5. It is 1. Right? So therefore, what is the order of bond order? O2 plus 2 greater than O2 plus, tell me, O2 minus O2 minus 2. It is a bond order, decreasing order. Next, what is the bond length? We know that bond order inversely proportional to bond length. So here O2 plus 2 has highest bond order, it means least bond length. Therefore O2 minus 2 has least bond order, more bond length. It means O2 minus 2 has highest bond length, then O2 minus O2, then O2 plus 2. It is a bond length. Similarly, stability. So we also studied that stability is directly proportional to bond order, right? So stability, come on, tell me. Stability directly proportional to bond order. The order of bond order here, no? Same order here. O2 plus 2 has highest stability. O2 plus O2, O2 minus 2. Right? Next, do you know? Question is like this. When O2 converts into O2 plus, which of the following changes? The same question has been last class also. Right? Read the question. This question was appeared. When O2 converts to O2 plus, when O2 converts into O2 plus, which of the following changes occur? Which of the following changes occur? 1. Bond order increases. 2. Bond length decreases. 3. Para becomes para only. 4. All. All. Because when O2 converts into O2 plus, bond order increases. Can you tell me why the bond order increases? We have studied last class. When electron removed from anti-bonding molecular orbital, bond order increases. When electron removed from where? Anti-bonding molecular orbital, bond order increases. When electron removed from bonding molecular orbital, bond order decreases. Now tell me, when O2 converts into O2 plus, O2 has where the last electron? Pi star 2px, pi star 2py1. So it means when O2 converts into O2 plus, one electron removed from where? Anti-bonding molecular orbital. Therefore, the loss of electron from anti-bonding molecular orbital increases bond order, increases stability. Right? That is the reason. So bond order is increases. When bond order increases, bond length should be decreases, because bond order, bond length are inversely proportional. Next, para become para only, because O2 has 2 electron, 2 unpaired electron. Then O2 plus still has it as 1 unpaired electron. Suppose if O2 converts into O2 plus 2, para become dia. Do you understand? Suppose when O2 converts into O2 minus 2, para become again para only. When O2 converts into O2 minus 2, para become dia. So these kind of questions are important, right? Right, next point, right? When electron removed from BMO, bonding molecular orbital, when electron removed from bonding molecular orbital increases bond order, increases bond order and increases stability. Increases bond order. No. Once again. When bonding and bonding. When electron removed from bonding molecular orbital decreases bond order. Sorry. When electron removed from BMO, bonding molecular orbital, decreases bond order and decreases stability, whereas electron removed from anti-bonding molecular orbital, whereas electron removed from anti-bonding molecular orbital what happened? Increases bond order and increases stability. Okay, take one note. This is a shortcut method to calculate bond order. Write under note. Listen here. See, the majority questions are based on MOT. There are many questions based on bond order, right? So calculation of bond order or bond order bond length, bond order bond energy, these kind of questions many are there, right? So therefore, if you want to calculate bond order, what is the process? We need to calculate, we need to use formula. First calculate number of bonding electron, number of anti-bonding electron, then use the formula, then substitute, then you get answer. But this takes time, right? So that much time you may not have in exam, right? Particularly NEET exam. So that is not a regular process. It's not a good. So you need to minimize the time, so that we have one shortcut method to calculate bond order. How? So bond order is related with particularly in diatomic molecule related to number of electron, right? So therefore take this for homonuclear diatomic molecule, for homonuclear or homonuclear diatomic molecule, okay. So take in first column number of electrons and bond order. If you know the number of electron, it is possible to identify the bond order very easily. How? Do you know what is the maximum bond order for a given molecule? 3. Right? In a normal conditions, we know that a molecule may have maximum A triple bond A, right? So therefore, then in such case, number of electrons are maximum is 14. If there are 14 electrons, its bond order is 3. You just remember this relation, right? Number of electrons are 14, bond order 3. Suppose if the number of electron increases, 14 become 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Here number of electron decreases 13, 12, 11, 10. Then tell me, bond order maximum is 3. Then as the number of electron or increases or decreases, bond order decreases by 0.5. It means if the 15 electron, what is the bond order? 2.5. Then 16, 2.0, 17, 1.5, 18, 1.0, 19, 0.5, 20, 0. Bond order 0. If any molecule has 20 electron, that too diatomic molecule, it should be homodiatomic. Its bond order must be 0. Similarly, 13 electron, 3 is a maximum, 2.5, it is 2.0, then 1.5, it is what? 1. Okay, now question is this, write down first. Which of the following has maximum bond order? Write some questions. Which of the following has maximum bond order? A, N2 minus 2, B, O2, C, O2 plus 2, D, O2 minus 2. Which one has maximum bond order? Come on, tell me, how do you calculate bond order? You just calculate number of electron. This N2 minus 2 has how many electrons? Nitrogen has 14 electron. 1 nitrogen 7, 2 nitrogen 14. 14 plus 2, 16 electron. Next it is 16 electron O2. It is 14 no. O2 plus 2. O2 has 16 plus 2, loss of 2 electron. 14. Next it is 18. Okay, come on, tell me now. 16 electron. Electrons are 16. Bond order is 2. Its bond order is 2. Electrons are 16. Bond order is 2. Electrons are 14. Bond order is 3. Electrons are 18. Bond order is 1. Therefore, the question is maximum bond order is. If they ask minimum bond order, O2 minus 2. Okay. Then now instead of bond order, they may ask bond length. See, this O2 plus has maximum bond order. It means minimum bond length, because bond order inversely proportional to bond length. Now question is this: which of the following molecule has minimum bond length? Means maximum bond order. Same molecule. O2 plus 2 has maximum bond order, minimum bond length. Next, here O2 minus 2 has minimum bond order, maximum bond length. Next, one more question. Which of the following has more bond dissociation energy? So bond breaking energy or bond energy is directly proportional to bond order, right? So they say same here. O2 plus 2 has more bond order, more bond breaking energy, bond dissociation energy. Which of the following has minimum bond energy? Same, minimum bond order. Next is stability. Which of the following molecule is most stable? Stability directly proportional to bond order. So therefore O2 plus 2 has more stability. So these all type of questions are possible based on bond order. Okay, I hope you understand it. So therefore remember this shortcut method to identify the bond order, right? Next next, right, one more important point under note only. Under note only, CO comma not CO, NO and its related ions. NO and its related ions molecular electronic configuration is. NO and its related ions molecular electronic configuration is written based on 14 electron, written based on 14 electron sequence. 14 electron sequence. Okay. It means, suppose if I ask question, what is the electronic configuration of NO molecule, or NO plus 2, or NO minus, etc. Tell me. If you want to write electronic configuration of NO plus, NO minus, tell me NO has how many electron? It has 15 electron. This NO plus has 14 electron. This has 16 electron. Even they are heteroatomic molecule. Now whatever we have studied so far about homoatomic molecule, even though it is a heteroatomic molecule, write the electronic configuration of NO, NO plus, NO minus, all three are based on 14 electron. That is, up to nitrogen we have sequence now. So apply that sequence and write electronic configuration. Okay. Next, suppose if the question is which of the following has minimum bond order, tell me. Write one more question. Which of the following has minimum bond order? 1 NO, 2 NO plus, 3 NO minus, 4 Ne2. Minimum bond order. Ne2. So therefore here you just calculate the number of electron. What is the number of electron NO? 15. Nitrogen 7, oxygen 8. 7 plus 8, 15 electron. Here is 14 electron, because 15 minus 1. Here is 15 plus 1, 16 electron. Here is 20 electrons. Right. If the electrons are 20, bond order is 0. Bond order 0. 20 electrons. Right. Then 15 electron, bond order is 2.5. It is 3. It is 2. If the question is highest bond order, which is highest? NO plus. Least bond order? Neon 2. Right. Do you know neon 2 has 0 bond order? What is the meaning of this? In between neon, is there any bond? This bond is not possible. That means there is no bond between neon. That is a noble gas. We know that all the noble gases are monoatomic gases. There is no any kind of covalent bond between any two noble gases. Helium, it is also 0. It means if I write helium 2, its bond order is 0. That means all the noble gases having 0 bond order. Right, one point. All the noble gases having 0 bond order. It means there is no bond between any two noble gases. All the noble gases have 0 bond order. Okay. So these are the possible questions in MOT. Other than this, nothing else. Okay. And last one more question. That was just question. Write the electronic configuration. Write the electronic configuration of CO, CO plus, CO minus, and calculate bond order. Okay. So take this is exception. It is exception. Now to calculate CO, can you tell me CO has how many electron? 14. Okay. Even though it has 14 electron, its electronic configuration is not related to 14 electron, not related to 16 electron. We have two sequence now, 14 electron sequence and 16 electron sequence. So remember, only CO and its related molecule does not have 14 electron 16 electron sequence. They have the special electronic configuration, that is exception. Right, it is just like 14 only but small change. Can you tell me for 14 electron, tell me sigma 1s, sigma star 1s, come on, sigma 2s, sigma star 2s, pi 2px, pi 2py. Next, sigma 2p, okay, sigma 2pz, then pi star 2px, pi 2p, okay, pi star 2px, pi star 2py, sigma star 2pz, right? This is 14 electrons rule, no? But remember, this CO and related ion having 14 electron only, but exception is here, no? This sigma star 2s, okay, this sigma star 2s comes end. Suppose if you want to write 14 electron, that is NCO, 14 electron, you just fill 14 electron, sigma 1s 2, sigma star 1s2, then sigma 2s 2, right? Then sigma star 2s you should not write here. Sigma star 2s will be there at the end of the this electronic configuration. The next is what comes? Pi 2px 2, pi 2px, pi 2py 2, then how many electrons over? 2, 4, 6, 10. No, next is as usual, pi sigma 2p z 2. Now it becomes 12, no? How many electron left now? Only 2 electron. Those 2 electron present in where? Sigma star 2p, sorry, 2s 2. It means, so where you should write this sigma star 2s2? After here, no? So therefore, if you want to write this electronic configuration, you should write here. It is sigma star 2s, then pi star 2px as it is. It means in CO molecule, the last electron present in sigma star 2s2. This is only one change. That too particularly in CO molecule only. We don't have other molecule. Okay. Then can you write CO plus CO minus based on sequence? Right. Next, if you calculate bond order CO, CO plus, CO minus, tell me how many electrons here? 14. It is 13 electron. It is 15 electrons. So remember, this 14 electron bond order is 3 only. It is bond order. It's bond order. Tell me, this 13 electron bond order is supposed to be 2.5, but remember, it is not 2.5. It is comes 3.5. Only one exception. If you calculate, you will get it. Okay. Next is, come on, tell me. CO minus, this is as usual. 15 electron is 2.5. It is same. That is same. That means only one CO plus molecule has bond order 3.5. There is no other molecule except this. Okay. So this is one exception. You just remember it. Right. Hydrogen bond. Right on. So this is the last concept of chemical bonding. And here also we can expect questions. What is hydrogen bond and types of hydrogen bond? The most important is applications of hydrogen bond we have in our syllabus. Okay, right on. Hydrogen bond. So what is hydrogen bond? The bond present between hydrogen atom of one molecule and most electronegative element of another molecule. So here a bond present between what? Hydrogen atom of one molecule. For example, take it is a HF. Okay, and one more HF. This is the hydrogen atom of one molecule and most electronegative element is fluorine. Fluorine of another molecule, right? So here one kind of a weak interaction is present. That weak interaction between hydrogen of one atom and fluorine of another atom. So this is called what? Hydrogen bond, right? So therefore, what is hydrogen bond? The bond present between the bond present between the bond present between hydrogen atom of one molecule and most electronegative element in bracket fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. Most electronegative element fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen of another molecule called hydrogen bond, right? Next point, do you know how the hydrogen bond is denoted? It is denoted by dots, right? It is denoted by like this, dotted lines. Okay. Next, conditions. What are the before that, take example. Let's see condition. Example. Right. Example, you can take HF. HF. It is a HF molecule. See here, this is one HF now. HF. It is HF. 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 H. This is F. Right. So in between HF there is a hydrogen bond. Do you understand? One molecule HF, another molecule, one molecule, another molecule. Come on, tell me. Here, this dotted line is what? It is hydrogen bond. This thick line is what? It is a covalent bond. Covalent bond. Then, so here one more important point. The bond angle between this hydrogen bond and this covalent bond is approximately 140 degrees in HF molecule. Okay. This is one time asked in AAPMT. What is the bond angle in HF molecule? Next, one more important point. See, due to this hydrogen bonding, HF molecule exists as a HF polymer. That is a 6 molecule they associate together like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Therefore, HF molecule has polymer structure, that is HF6 polymer. It is due to hydrogen bond. Next, one more example is water. So in water molecule also there is a hydrogen bond. HOH. H2O no? Take another HOH. HOH. Right. There are many water molecule. Come on, tell me. This is hydrogen atom of one molecule, oxygen of other molecule. This kind of bond is what? It is a hydrogen bond. But actually, in water molecule, each water molecule can linked with 4 water molecule. This is a CT question. How it is? Listen carefully. This is one water molecule. Take, this is one water molecule. This one water molecule is associated with or linked with how many water molecule? Total 4 water molecule. So that means one water molecule gets surrounded by 4 water molecule due to hydrogen bond. How it is? So take, this is one water molecule. I'll take, this is another water molecule. Okay. So take this is take this is another water molecule. Now see, it is the bond between H and O is hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond. Here also hydrogen bond. Here also hydrogen bond. Like this, there is a one more hydrogen bond here. Here there is a two more hydrogen bond. Here is one. Okay. Now even you can write here also. See, this oxygen hydrogen, no, there is a hydrogen. There is one more, but not that. You can draw here. I will draw the structure here. Okay, so this is, take another water molecule. Okay, so here is, come on, tell me now, what is the bond between these two? Okay, next I will take here, okay, you can write many, right? If you see one water molecule, now I will take this middle water molecule. Come on, tell me, this middle water molecule is surrounded by how many water molecule? It is 1, it is 2, it is 3, 4. It means this is 1, 2, 3, 4. That means even it is in ice also same. In ice, even water, one water molecule gets surrounded by 4 different water molecules. Okay, but here important is, now if you take oxygen, tell me, in water, this each oxygen bonded with 4 hydrogen, yes or no? In water, each oxygen bonded with 4 hydrogen, that is 2 with covalent bonds, 2 with hydrogen bonds. Right? Write down one point. Getting confusion here? No? Okay. Right? In water molecule, each H2O molecule surrounded by 4 water molecules. 4 water molecules tetrahedrally, that too tetrahedrally. They are having tetrahedral structure. Tetrahedrally. Next point. In water, each oxygen is bonded with, how many hydrogens? 4 hydrogens. In water, each oxygen bonded with 4 hydrogens, that is 2 with covalent bonds, and remaining 2 with hydrogen bonds. Okay. So it is about water molecule, hydrogen bond. And one more point. Do you know, due to formation of hydrogen bond, it has cage-like structure, no? Yes or no? Cage-like structure. Water molecule, like all the sea, there is a gap between these 4 water molecule here water molecule. So it has like cage-like, no? Isn't it? So due to hydrogen bonding, it has cage-like structure. Next, one more example, ammonia. In ammonia molecule, right? Ammonia molecule, come on, tell me. In ammonia molecule, hydrogen atom of one molecule, nitrogen atom of another molecule. So there is a hydrogen bond. So remember the boiling point of HF, remember here only, it is 19.4 degrees, whereas boiling point of water is how much? 100 degrees, no? HF is 19.4, it is 100 degrees. The boiling point of ammonia is aqueous ammonia. Boiling point of aqueous ammonia, it is approximately 24.7 degrees. Remember these values, we will get later application. Okay. Next, write conditions for hydrogen bond. Come on, tell me, what are the conditions for hydrogen bond? Whether hydrogen bond present between hydrogen atom of one molecule and other, what about other atom? Other atom of what? More electronegative. So more electronegative and small atomic size also. That means the atom which can form hydrogen bond must have small size and more electronegativity. So therefore the only one condition is, write down, the atoms having high electronegativity, in bracket, which atoms or which elements? Fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen. The elements having high electronegativity and small atomic size. High electronegativity and small atomic size can form hydrogen bond. Okay. Right. See, listen. Small atomic size, high electronegativity can form hydrogen bond. There is one question. Question is this: HF can form hydrogen bond, whereas HCl cannot. Cannot form hydrogen bond. It can form. Can you tell me anybody? Even this chlorine has high electronegativity, no? The electronegativity of chlorine is how much? 3. See, even one more example. Ammonia can form hydrogen bond, right? So then here in ammonia, nitrogen electronegativity is 3. It means the electronegativity of chlorine is equals to ammonia, that is nitrogen. The electronegativity of chlorine equal to nitrogen, then nitrogen can form hydrogen bond, whereas chlorine cannot form. Why? So here there are two criteria. First criteria is electronegativity. Electronegativity should be high. At the same time, size is small. So here nitrogen size is small because it is a second period element. No, it is belongs to second period element, whereas chlorine, third period element, its atomic size is large. So due to large atomic size, chlorine cannot form intermolecular hydrogen bond. But in some cases, there are some example, few example, there it can form. Right? Write down one statement. Even though nitrogen and chlorine have same electronegativity, even though nitrogen and chlorine have same electronegativity, nitrogen can form hydrogen bond. Nitrogen can form hydrogen bond, but chlorine do not form easily. This is because chlorine has what? Large atomic size. This is because chlorine has large atomic size. Okay. Next, types of hydrogen bonds. Types of hydrogen bond. So there are two types of hydrogen bond. One intramolecular, second one is intermolecular. Write down. One intramolecular hydrogen bond. Intramolecular hydrogen bond. Second one is intermolecular hydrogen bond. Okay, yeah, and tell me, what is the meaning of intra? So here the word itself giving meaning, intra, inter. Intra in the sense, if the hydrogen bonding takes place within the molecule, right? If hydrogen bonding takes place within the molecule is intra, in between the molecule is inter. Like we used to say intercity. What is a Bangalore Hubli train? Bangalore and Ballari is I think intercity is there, no? Okay, so what is the meaning of intercity? Which connect two cities. Intercity, like intermolecular, which connect two molecule. Intracity, like metro. Bangalore metro is intra. Within the city there is a transportation, no? That is intracity. So therefore here also the meaning of intra is if the hydrogen bonding takes place or occurs within the molecule is intra. If the hydrogen bonding takes place between the molecule is inter, right? So therefore hydrogen bonding present within the molecule. Hydrogen bonding present within the molecule. So if the hydrogen bonding present within the molecule is intra. Here examples are important. Most of the time they ask questions based on example. Which of the following is inter, which of the following is intra, right? So take example, orthonitrophenol. This is we study even in organic chemistry also. Orthonitrophenol. Do you know orthonitrophenol? Phenol is benzene having OH like this. Nitro, there is a NO2 group is like this, N, it is O. Come on, tell me. So here in between hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen of phenol, this is a phenol hydrogen and this is nitro oxygen, there is a hydrogen bonding is present. Okay, and one important important statement is, see here in this hydration there is a one ring is formed, HOCCNO. This one ring is formed, that is called chelation. Remember, a cyclic ring will be formed in intramolecular hydrogen, which is called chelation. Important. A cyclic ring is formed. A cyclic ring is formed in intramolecular hydrogen bonding. A cyclic ring is formed in intramolecular hydrogen bonding, which is called chelation. Next, orthofluorophenol. It is also similar, just like orthonitro only. So a bond is present, no? Next, even orthochlorophenol also possible. Orthochlorophenol, I told you chlorine do not form intermolecular, there is hydrogen bonding, but some cases it formed, like here chelation. Chelation, due to chelation it formed. Next, orthonitroaniline. What is aniline? NH2. NH2 will be there now. ortho nitro. So take here nitro group, ortho position, and H no, aniline. Then bonding is present here also. Next, ortho hydroxy benzaldehyde, it is also called. Do you remember? Ortho hydroxy benzaldehyde, right? This is take. Okay. Yes or no? Do you know what is the name of this? Very good. Salicylaldehyde. Aldehyde, no. OH and aldehyde groups are adjacent. Salicylaldehyde. Next, even salicylic acid also. Next is salicylic acid. In salicylic acid, OH and carboxyl groups present, adjacent, no? Okay, so OH, take OH is here, and C double bond O. Okay, C double bond O, O minus. There is O minus here. Salicylate and actually. Salicylate ion. There is a intramolecular hydrogen bonding is possible. Okay. Next, here one important point about intra is, so here due to intramolecular, see what happening, hydrogen bonding takes place within the molecule, right? So due to hydrogen bonding takes place within the molecule, is there any possibility of like association of many molecule? For example, we have orthonitrophenol. This orthonitrophenol can associate with other orthonitrophenol? Not. That means association of molecule does not take place. Whereas we have studied HF. For example, take HF. In HF there are how many molecules associated? 6. Like that here is possible? No. It means association of molecule is not possible because intramolecular hydrogen bonding. So that means association is not possible. Then what happened? Boiling point is decreases. Boiling point decreases, solubility decreases, right? Solubility in water decreases, and volatility increases. What is the volatility? It can evaporate easily. Boiling point is decreases, volatility increases, and viscosity decreases, surface tension decreases. All are decreases. Boiling point, solubility, surface tension, viscosity, all decreases. Only one is increases, that is volatility. Right? So therefore, right, important point. So due to intramolecular hydrogen bonding, boiling point, comma, solubility in water, comma, viscosity, comma, surface tension decreases, but volatility only increases. If the hydrogen bonding takes place between the molecule, hydrogen bonding takes place between the same or different molecule, between the molecule, called intermolecular hydrogen bond. Example, so already we have studied HF. Tell me, in between HF there is a intermolecular. Due to intermolecular, what happened? HF exists as HF6 polymer. It is called association or not? That means association of molecule is takes place. In intermolecular, association of molecule takes place. Next, another example is water. Next example is ammonia. Okay, even you can take boric acid, H3BO3, H3PO4, phosphoric acid. Even you can take, orthonitrophenol we have taken for what? Intra. You can take paranitrophenol. Tell me, in paranitrophenol, where is the OH group and NO2 group? Para position, no? Take this is OH and NO2 is this N double bond O. It is paranitro. Take another paranitro. Come on, tell me. In another paranitro, again there is a N, here is O, double bond O, this is OH. Now tell me, in between these two, whether intra or inter? Inter, because this is one molecule, it is another molecule. So here, in case of paranitrophenol, is it intra is possible? Not. Why? You see, these groups are opposite. They are opposite, therefore their chelation is not possible. So like that, so here many molecule get associate, their association is possible. Like that. So there we have taken ortho, no? Here all you can take para. There we have taken orthonitro, here paranitro. Next ortho, nitro, or orthofluoro, no? Orthofluorophenol. Same example, tell me. There orthofluoro, here parafluoro. Next parachloro. Next parahydroxy benzaldehyde. Okay, all these are intermolecular. Along with this, there are some biomolecule, like even alcohol also, no? Primary alcohol, even primary and secondary amines. We study in alcohol amine topic, they are having hydrogen bond. Biomolecules like proteins, you have studied protein structure. In protein structure there is a hydrogen bonding, is there? No? Protein, even nucleic acid, yes or no? Nucleic acid. In nucleic acid there is a DNA RNA, like DNA has a double stranded. In between two strands there is a hydrogen bonding is possible, right? GC, how many hydrogen bond? Triple bond. AT, 2 bonds, that is hydrogen bond, right? So DNA, RNA, right? Even proteins over, no? Protein, nucleic acids, carbohydrate. In carbohydrate also there is a hydrogen bond is present in biomolecule. That is a intermolecular hydrogen bond. Next, due to intermolecular hydrogen bond, what happened? One, already we have written, association takes place. Then what about boiling point? So due to association like this, no, if many molecule get associate, then obviously their boiling point is increases. To break this bond, energy required, no? So therefore, one, boiling point increases. Second one is solubility, because water can form the bond with this, no? Solubility increases. Next is viscosity, surface tension is increases, but only volatility is decreases. Right. Intermolecular hydrogen bonding increases. Increases. 1, boiling point. 2, solubility in water. 3, viscosity and surface tension, but volatility decreases. Okay. Next point. Right. Next is strength of hydrogen bond. Whether strength of hydrogen bond is same in all the molecule. Take 3 molecule HF, H2O, ammonia. In 3 molecule there is a hydrogen bond. The strength of H bond is same? No. The strength of the hydrogen bond depends on difference in electronegativity. If the difference in electronegativity is more, the strength of the hydrogen bond is more. So therefore, strength of hydrogen bond directly proportional to difference in electronegativity. For example, take HF, HO, H, HN, H. There is a hydrogen bond between HF, OH and NH. Come on, tell me which bond is stronger. Difference in electronegativity is more in HF, then OH, then NH. And remember, bond strength also. This hydrogen bond strength is stronger than van der Waals bond, or hydrogen bond is a stronger than van der Waals bond but weaker than covalent bond. Right? Next, hydrogen bond stronger than van der Waals bond but weaker than covalent bond. Next, bond energy. So the bond energy of these bonds, here this HF bond is approximately 10 kilocalories per mole, whereas it is 7 kilocalories. This is approximately 2 kilocalories. That means what is the order of bond energy in H bond? 10 to 2. Therefore, next point, bond energy order in hydrogen bond is 10 to, it is 2 kilocalories per mole. It is a range 10 to 2. 10 is maximum, 2 is minimum. Next, the bond strength of hydrogen bond approximately 1/10 of covalent bond. If you compare bond strength, hydrogen bond and covalent bond, so hydrogen bond strength is, of course, it is a weaker bond, but how many times? 10 times weaker. It means 1/10 of covalent bond. Therefore, the bond strength of hydrogen bond hydrogen bond strength is 1/10 of covalent bond approximately. So all possible questions are there. Okay. Next, due to hydrogen bond, KHF2 can exist, whereas KHCl2 do not exist. Why? Because chlorine cannot form hydrogen bond, whereas fluorine can form hydrogen bond. Due to formation of hydrogen bond, KHF2 can exist due to H bond. So KHCl2 do not exist because KHCl2 cannot form hydrogen bond. Okay, right. Next is, see, we have hydrated cation, hydrated anion. Usually water can form the anion, that is hydrated bond with hydrated anion, that is OH minus. Water can form the bond with H plus. So therefore this is a hydrated anion, it is hydrated cation. Remember, the bond between hydrated anion is always hydrogen bond, whereas The bond between hydrated cation, already we have studied. What is the bond?
Dative bond.
Dative bond, already we have studied. Coordinate covalent bond. H plus is a acceptor, water is a donor, they form H3O plus, no. So therefore, the bond between hydrated anion is hydrogen bond, hydrated cation is dative bond. It is a hydrogen bond. It is hydrated anion. This is hydrated cation. This is always a dative bond. Next, in hydrated salt, important, in hydrated salt there is a possibility of hydrogen bond, even there is a possibility of coordinate covalent bond also, right? For example, let us take copper sulfate 5H2O. One important question, copper H2O, copper sulfate 5H2O, it's a blue in color, no, we know it. Then in this molecule, or this molecule has which kind of bond? Ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond, hydrogen bond, or all? It is all, because this copper sulfate is a hydrated salt, right? Remember, in hydrated salt, what is the meaning of hydrated salt? Salt is associated with water, no? Okay. Right. In hydrated salt, take down, in hydrated salt, if water molecules are even number, in hydrated salt, if water molecules are even number, they are hydrated anions. Sorry, they are hydrated cations. Or they have which bond? No. If water molecules are even number, they can form hydrated cation. What is the meaning of hydrated cation? They have which bond? Dative bond. They have, directly you can write dative bond. If water molecules are odd number, tell me, if water molecules are odd number, in hydrated salt, if water molecules are odd number, one water molecule has hydrated anion, remaining all are hydrated cation. What is the meaning of this? One water molecule has hydrated cation, it means one hydrogen bond, right? There is a one hydrogen bond, remaining all are coordinate bond or dative bond. One hydrogen bond, remaining dative bonds. Now based on this concept, okay, I repeat once again carefully. See, in hydrated salt, how to identify hydrogen bond? In hydrated salt, it means salt containing water, we can identify the hydrogen bonds. How? If water molecules are even, like 4, 2, 6, 8, 10, if water molecules are even number, there is no hydrogen bonds. All are what? Dative bonds. If water molecules are odd number, one water molecule has hydrogen bond, remaining all are having dative bond. Now tell me, copper sulfate 5H2O. It has how many dative bonds? How many hydrogen bonds? 4 dative bond, 1. That is, it's actually, it is a complex compound. You have studied copper 4H2O. Do you remember? Sulfate, it is dot H2O. The coordination number of copper is 4, no? Inside square bracket there are 4. It means how many coordinate bonds? 4. Next, outside coordinate bond, outside the sphere, there is a one water molecule. This is what? Hydrogen bond. And what is the bond between sulfate and this complex ion is ionic bond. That means copper sulfate has ionic bond between cation. This is anion, ionic bond. It has covalent bond also. Where covalent bond? H2O. Each H2O has two covalent bonds. There is a covalent bond also, and there is a coordinate covalent bond between what? Copper and water. Right? There is a hydrogen bond also between water and this complex ion. That means copper sulfate 5s2 has ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond, hydrogen bond. All the bonds are there. Okay. Next is applications of hydrogen bond.